You guys like my hair? My quarantine look? It's a weird mix of long-haired Nick and Ace Ventura sticking his head out of a car window. Anyway, I just watched Tomi Lahren's video that people are calling her Men Are Trash rant. And I am going to say this. Okay, I've given a lot of advice about relationships. I do a lot of jokes about it. I've told people you should do this for your man, you should do this for your woman. And in hearing her rant, I see some problems that have been happening quite a bit in the dating world. But I also think there's some things that she probably needs to address herself. So let's just go ahead and do both, all right? First, we're going to address what I think Tomi's going through, and then I'm going to talk about the main problem of what it's like to date now. So there's so many things that scream ideal mate with Tomi. She's 28, she's blonde, she's ambitious, she is a talker, she probably is very much a go-getter, she has money, you know? So it seems like things line up, right? But that may be why she's having trouble in the dating world. And now before you say, well, Nick, no, those are things that should be valued, which is what she said. Women have value, value, value. But what she doesn't realize is that she is being approached by men who are also ambitious and go-getters and want more, and their personalities are colliding. As much as men and women say they want somebody who is ambitious and out there, not everybody wants someone in the spotlight, whether it's men or women. It's a hard thing to deal with, especially if you know the person you're dating is constantly being attacked online, is constantly attacking others, is constantly on TV or on YouTube or on her Instagram Live. It's a little intimidating because guys that settle down want peace. They don't want excitement. And it's the same for women. Women that settle down want peace. They don't want excitement. And when I say excitement, you know I'm not talking about just random trips and things like that. I'm talking about how everything is enhanced nowadays. We have so many choices, so many restaurants, so many TV channels. So we are continuously being bombarded with things, and it just becomes overwhelming and stressful. So because of what is happening in the outside world, you don't want that to happen between you and the person you love. You don't want to be reminded of how crazy everything is. You want to be able to just sit on a couch and not say a thing for a few hours, if that. So she's giving out all these tips, but they're not really tips. They're just disguised rants. That's all they are. Because who is she actually speaking to? Does she think she's actually speaking to the men that do exactly what she says not to do? Or is she just trying to do the rah-rah with women, hoping that they're like, I agree, that's right, share this. And you got to decide, so who are you going to reach? And what message are you trying to push? Basically, her tips are annoyances, and it's not going to reach the guy that she wants to change because they have no reason to change. This is working out for them. So why do they need to change practices of their dating life if they're like, well, I got her, so why don't I just keep doing what I'm doing now? So I lost her. I don't care. And that's kind of what she's dealing with. She says she doesn't care, but that's what you're attracting. You're also attracting men that don't care either. And when you have that, similar personalities that are that extreme, well, of course it's not going to work out. You attract what you are. So you have to start looking inward to say, what am I attracting? And in listening to her rant, she continues to have these conflicting views that just keep bouncing off each other. You don't know what she is. It's very complicated, and that's probably why she is in complicated relationships. She's upset about the pussification of America. She's not a feminist, but she goes on a feminist rant. She insults Lena Dunham for some reason, and then she expects that men who hear this, the guys that are going to be attracted to it, are going to respect her. And then towards the end of her rant, she's basically doing Shania Twain's "That Don't Impress Me Much." You know, you don't have to be Brad Pitt. You don't have to be rich. But Shania was kind of already laid that out in nicer terms, and we could dance to it. But in a weird way, she hits something right on the head that she needs to learn herself. She says, no single man is worth making you feel worthless. Well, it's the same the other way around. How are you treating these men? Because if I can take your videos at face value of what you might be bringing to the relationship? Do you insult them when you argue? Do they want that? Do they want a constant fight? Is it always just energy, energy, energy passing through and conflict, 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 and we've got to do something? It's a little much. It's overwhelming. And like I've said, nice guys, the guys that you're looking for, they don't want continuous excitement. They want peace. They want somebody who is with them on the journey, that pushes them, not somebody that's willing to be like, well, you do this and you do that. And I'm not saying that you do, but it sounds like that's what you do. Then she tells men, don't be a bitch. What does it sound like she's doing right now? Obviously somebody broke her heart and she figured out I've been thinking about it for weeks and here's my rant and I've been talking to all my women friends and collecting data so that I can continue to be proven right on how I feel and how everything else is wrong. Well, that's a bitch move. So in listening to her, I'm just like, okay, I think you're just pep rallying your advice. This is just directed towards women that feel like they have ran into this situation too, and it helps them because it tells them that no, there are problems out there, and there are. I'm not saying there aren't. But here's what I believe is the main problem in dating nowadays. It's harder to date now because life itself, in at least America, has changed from the ideals of the past, but we keep hanging on to the ideals of the past as a benchmark of what we need to reach. Sounds complicated, but it isn't. The American dream was get a house, have a family, have 2.5 kids, a dog, a car in the garage before 30. That can't happen anymore. That is so hard to do. So we're dealing with people that don't feel accomplished. They don't feel successful because we are still being held to that standard, but American living has not gone up to that standard anymore. We can't afford this. So people keep chasing a dream that is out of their reach and feeling unaccomplished, and that is affecting their love life. We're being told there is so much more out there. Why are you settling? But then you want us to settle. We are exhausted by work. We have to deal with the 24/7 work cycle, but we need time to relax and be peaceful and be one within ourselves so that we can find the one. So basically, the American dream killed the American love life. And that kind of cycles back to what Tomi preaches in all her other videos. Her whole American commentator personality is based on pushing that old American dream and how that's the standard, and you need to get a job and you need to work and you need to be successful and you need to be right for me and this and that. Well, that ideal is depressing men and women, and so now they don't have the mental health to date properly. If she is really concerned with people's love life like that, where it's got to be this big to she has to talk to people and get them right, well, she should start preaching progressive ideas. Start preaching income equality. Start preaching making housing affordable. Start preaching a lifestyle where people aren't constantly stressed by everything they have to do to just barely exist so that they can exist. Take all the judgment and guilt out of the world, and then people will start to feel one with the world, and then they will be able to focus on being a better man or woman for their partner. Because if you really talk to people right now, I would say about 85% of them feel like they have not accomplished anything in life. They feel depressed. They feel like their self-esteem is low. They feel like they were supposed to get so much more. They feel like, oh, my family worked hard so I could be here and I can't even afford to be here. And that depression is affecting every aspect of their life. So if Tomi wants men to be better, well, then she better promote a world that is better first. Let's help Americans have value again. Let's help them be able to afford to live. Let's help them have the accomplishment of paying off their college, of paying off their car payments, and actually existing as a whole human being, at least outwardly, so they can become a whole human being inwardly. But I have a feeling that she will never promote those ideals because her pocketbooks are filled with promoting the opposite of that. So now it becomes, what is more important to me? Having a healthy relationship or making sure that my commentator career never ends? So, in this sense, Tomi, you are the problem in everyone's relationship. Calm down, figure out what actually matters to you in life, and start preaching that. It's probably going to hurt your bank account, but if you want a better man, well, they are out there. Give them a chance and just ease up a little bit, okay? Because in love, what you want is somebody who you can just have peace and quiet with, and it's not a fear of like, am I boring them? You want to be able to just sit on a couch with somebody. But if somebody is constantly jamming, we got to do this and go to this event and you got to do this and this and this, well, that's a lot. I already go to work most of the day and I just get hammered with everything I got to do because work is telling me we've got to compete with businesses that are overseas 24/7, 365 days, you know? So it's like I'm hammered out there. And then I come home and I'm hammered again by somebody just telling me we got to do this, we got to do that. Help a man find peace, and you will find a man who will be with you forever. I mean, if you want to, just look at Michelle Obama. And I know that's hard for you to do, but yo, she was probably Barack's peace with all the shit that was going on during his whole presidency. She probably kept him calm, and that's why they're a successful marriage. So, there you go, guys. My thoughts on the problems with modern dating. If you agree, great. If you don't agree, great. You know, just go out there and figure it out for yourself then. Do what you can to be a better person so that you can find a better person. Unfortunately, I can't be there with you. So, figure it out, man. A lot of the times the problem is you. And remember, guys, you are loved. Bye, everybody.